Come on. I'm going to need to be able to see what I'm doing, aren't I? There we are. And hopefully that stabilizes out a little bit. So hello and welcome to the live, the wonky live at the moment. Let's sort that out. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Let's tilt that a little bit that way. Now, first things first. The instructions got a bit destroyed. Something's leaked in my bag, and yeah, so do bear with me. I mean, most of it looks okay. I can kind of guess what the other steps are, but yeah, that was a bit disappointing. I'm going to keep that in my pocket for Ron. Later, Ron. And we are in Sandy Lane, a little local nature reserve close to me. We've sort of lost the sun. It's a bit bloody cold as well, to be honest. I'm already whinging about the cold. I got a couple of beers to sort me out, and we're going to get this vintage Trangia set up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the Trangia to begin with. Then we're going to use it. So I wanted to just explain the differences between, well, the differences that I've noticed. Let's take this billy can out of the way because we're going to be using that because I'm doing a big batch, hopefully to be able to take home and feed the 5,000 with. But first things first, the strap. The strap's a different color to the normal Trangia ones. Totally different logo design. And also these parts here, they're actually riveted on. I think it's called a rivet. As where now it's actually just punched out of the aluminium. So there's a bit of a difference in that. The overall of it all right is, now somebody mentioned this on somebody else's video. I watch a couple of YouTubers, as you probably know, and he said, attach it to your fuel bottle and you'll never lose it. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I can't remember who it was. It was just somebody's comment in one of the videos. Because I like looking at people's comments as well to see what people say on other videos, other people's opinions and stuff. Because, you know, opinions are like arseholes. We've all got one. So, again, as I say, this is a Trangia 25, but it is a vintage 1970 version of it. It's a little bit beaten up, but you know what? Overall, it's not in bad condition. I've got my little strainer and a lid. We're not going to be using the kettle today, so that can come out. The kettle looks unchanged, to be honest. Can't see any difference in the kettle. There is a slight difference in slight difference in the lip of this on the more recent 25s. This is like rounded off, as where the edge of that's sort of sharp, not sharp, but totally different. But yeah, not too shabby. But we're not going to be using that either, I don't think. We're just going to be doing most of it in the billy can, and we'll be cooking a small portion of it. Which one of these fits that? In that one. Now that doesn't come with it. That's just off another set. Chocolate has just attacked the keyboard by the look of it. But another thing I noticed is it's not that pan. I've got a hair attached to me somewhere. Is the markings are slightly different as well. On the other one, the newer versions, you get one that's like a circle with it written on what it is. But anywho, that is by the by. Let's get that out of there and let's get this thing set up and lit so that I can warm my bloody hands up. It's cold. What's up, Paula? How you doing? And the other thing different is this doesn't actually clip on to that. It just rests on top of it. Now, other than them differences, I can't see any difference, which leads me to the bit of paper that I put in my pocket. The weight. So the vintage one is 1,314 grams, and the newer version of it, well, I say newer, mine's about 20 years old, and that weighs 1,059. So there's a 255 gram difference, which is not all that much, but when you're lugging it up a hill, it does make a bit of a difference. Oh, and then that also leads me on to the other difference. They're still rocking the yellow bags, which is good. That seems to remain unchanged. Nice and lightweight. And this. So the simmer ring is actually built into it. It's not actually separate. And you don't get the adjustability from it. It's either on or off. There's no, you know, turning the flap around a little way to douse it a little bit more. But I double checked that this simmer ring worked, because the last thing you want to do is be out trying to cook something and be unable to because you ballsed up and didn't bring something that works. Really. So we're going to get some fuel in there. It's bloody cold, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling it today. And then remove the fuel out of the way. We're going to try and decipher what's going on through these destroyed things that were in my bag. It's pretty simple. I have already read through what it is that I needed to do. I've not come out blind. I'm going to get my spoon. I'm going to get this lit up. Always put it in wrong. Double check it is on. And then we're going to pop the windshield around it. Lift out these flaps. No, we're not going to lift out the flaps. We're going to put the flaps down. Because, sorry, I'm missing everybody's bloody comments here. Are you cooking something? Yes, Paula, I am. I am cooking Bang Bang Chicken, which is by a company called Simply Cook. I'm not sponsored by them. I've got one of their subscriptions. They give you all the ingredients that you need. They give you instructions. All you got to do, sorry, no, they give you all of the spices and stuff you need, and then the instructions on how to do it. There will be a link in my description somewhere for you to get yourselves a free box of these. 100% free. If you don't like them, cancel the subscription after. And if you use my code, I also get a free one. So that's that. What we need to do is stop yabbering on about that and get some flipping water in. And cook the noodles. Hopefully that's enough water, because that is all the water I brought with me. And might even have to add some beer to it if I don't have enough water. It should be fine. So that's just going to heat up that water, and then we're going to slap the noodles in. So while that does that, I'm going to crack a beer, which is fizzing up on me already. I will check the comments shortly. Just bear with me. What is that stuff? What stuff? The beer. Hello to everybody who's there. I can't quite see what's going on. I could probably bring you a bit closer, to be fair. Might be able to read your comments a little bit better. I just wanted it quite high up so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And while that does heat that water up, I'm going to put my hands in my pockets. Hello, Nando. What are you saying? How are you? So the beer is Fruitage by Rodenbach. Roland Batch is a delicious fruit beer with a refreshing taste. 3.4% alcohol, so it's not all that strong. Nice fruity beer. It's got pictures of cherries on, so I'm assuming it's a cherry beer. That's not bad. And it's good that it's a lower ABV as well, because it means you can drink more of it. I need a bigger horn, don't I? The can to horn ratio is not very good. Fed eye in the sky. Bugger off. Nothing to see here. I'm trying to warm my hands up on this. England. United Kingdom. So yeah, it's a pretty simple thing, this. Looking at the ingredients, where was it? It's not all that intricate. It's just chicken fillets. You need to buy peppers, some peanut butter. So obviously, if you're allergic to peanuts, don't make this. Coconut milk and some noodles. Not sure where Bang Bang Chicken comes from. Doesn't really give you an idea of the country it's from. It sounds oriental, doesn't it? Pardon me. But yeah, pretty simple. Now I'm doing it a different way that it said to do it. It said to do the chicken in that first, but I'm not doing the chicken first. I'm doing the noodles first. Then I'm going to strain the noodles, saving a little bit of the juice just in case we need to add a bit of water to it later on to loosen it up. And there you go. The pot is on. I'm just hoping that that camera can see me because that's recording a time lapse. Yeah, it can, but it's not. If you can see the other camera, it kind of destroys the magic, doesn't it? Because there will be a normal video uploaded as well, following on from this. Patagonia. Sounds like you're well traveled, mate. We're going to need a small bit of salt for the noodles. If you're conscious about your salt intake, don't add it. Simplex. Got tons of little spices and stuff in here I like to bring with me. Bit of salt, not too much. Just enough for a bit of flavour. What is the current temperature?
It's currently 9 degrees.
9 degrees, which is flipping cold. But we're out here doing this anyway. Probably should have found a sunny spot to do it in, shouldn't I? I think that's the trick. I'm not sure if I'm going to get all these in there. So the Trangia storm stove is brilliant, right? Because what it does is it completely surrounds the area. So you literally have all of this insulation from the wind. You've got your air drag through one side and pulls out the other. Should actually have that the other way, but I'm not moving it now. I think we're just going to do the 3 on the noodles because I can't fit any more in, to be honest. Skål. And if we pop the lid on, that'll get them cooking a little bit quicker, and it'll waste less water. Is anybody there? Can you hear me? I think I'm going to have to switch the microphone and plug in to be able to plug something in later on to charge it up. But we'll go until we can't go anymore. I have brought something to charge it with, which is always helpful. So these are literally classed as storm stoves. They will perform absolutely anywhere. And if you want the chance to win one, I've got a raffle going on a site called Raffall, Raffall. And if you type in walk, cook, walk, it will take you to my page where you can win a stove like this for 50p. 10% goes to Diabetes UK charity. And unfortunately, it's UK only at the moment. I do plan to do international later on, but I need to get my head around the whole thing first. But yeah, just in some woods, cooking some food. It's as simple as that. There we go. That came up to the boil quick, didn't it? It is a bit one-sided, but these won't take long to cook anyway. Let's move this to one side so that it's actually flat. I think that's the idea. And to be fair, they soaked up that water pretty quickly. Let's see what the instructions here say. On the hob for 6 to 7 minutes. That's not a long time, is it? For them to be done. And then we're going to get on to cooking the chicken and the peppers. Adding the flavours in. Let's double check that none of this flavour needed to be put into the noodles. So you can see the flame underneath it. Let's flip that simmering on, because it is roaring. Oh my gosh. There we are. And what that does is it isolates some of the holes that the fuel can escape from. So the ones that are in the actual ring part, it can't get to that now because it's been blocked off. Okie dokie. And that water's nearly gone already. I really should have packed some more, shouldn't I? Right, well, let's taste one of these. See how we're doing. I'm going to pop the lid back on though, so it doesn't waste as much water. How's everyone doing then? What is everybody up to on this lovely autumnal Saturday? Bloody hell. Any problem when you do shit live is you can't edit it when it goes wrong. Right, I'm going to say they're done. whether you like it or not. So I need something to pour this liquid into. Now, the only reason why I didn't cook them in here is because I needed this to be able to do this with. And I'm going to go tip this water into the fry pan so that I've got some water to put the stuff in a bit. And if we drain them off now, it will save us some effort later. Have a quick look at them. Yeah, they're all right. Lovely jubbly. I'm not even sure if this is even working at this point in time, whether anyone's there or not, whether it's failed or what's going on. So I'm going to restart it.